How could we not talk about this little Fomori? It's loot. The key to everything. We've got a Temur 1-2. And it's now the child of Jason Vraska. You can have your upkeep exile X cards, where X is the number of card types among non-land permanents you control. You may play those cards this turn. Okay, so when I see this, I think I'm trying to get him out as soon as possible. I'm going to protect him with my life, and I want card types on the battlefield. And my first thought was, let's go to Theros and let's grab enchantment creatures, enchantment artifacts, and then let's head to Lorwyn and grab tribal enchantments and tribal artifacts. Because inevitably we're going to have creatures. But because every deck has enchantments and artifacts and creatures, you could also jam a bunch of planeswalkers in here and play a few battles as well. The point is, you're going to draw 2, 3, or 4 cards every single turn. Well, not draw, but you get the idea. And we want one more upkeep. So Paradox Haze is an absolute banger in this deck. This might be the best non-Outlaws of Thunder Junction card that you can get right now. It goes here, it goes in Obeka. Upkeep triggers are cool and good, it turns out. So yeah, originally my thought was, is this a Temur Goblins deck? Or a Temur Tokens deck? And I think it could be. So you'll have to make the call on that. But you do have access to Thassa and Kruphix. But the fact is, they're enchantment creatures, and that's really what I'm looking for here. Their payoffs are going to fit the deck as you see fit. Now, as far as cards I think really do fit in the deck, Boggart Shenanigans definitely goes in here. If you're playing Temur Goblins, that is. And if you're not, you can play Lignify. This is a great removal spell, and it's a tribal enchantment. There's nothing better than turning someone's commander into a tree folk with no abilities. If you head over to a little thing called Modern Horizons 2, you can pick up Altar of the Goyf. It's a tribal artifact, Lurgoyf. And this thing is looking for card types in your graveyard. And those are going to pump up loot, so you can actually do some damage with him. Now, from Outlaws of Thunder Junction itself, we're going to play Doc Arlok. He's a grizzled genius. But more importantly, spells you cast from your graveyard or cast from exile cost 2 less to cast. And plotting costs 2 less. Great in this deck. And if you are drafting Outlaws at Thunder Junction, force this card. Since we're recasting spells from exile, you need Passionate Archaeologist. This is just damage left out of the game if you don't include it. I also really like Wild Magic Sorcerer. You're going to get an extra spell because obviously you're casting spells from outside your hand. Memory Worm fits really nice here. Doctor Who is worth taking another look at if you're building loot. There's lots of things that talk about suspend and upkeeps there too. I can't recommend this card enough. I keep talking about Plargan Nasari. You're getting cards from each of your opponents, and you're getting the 2 worst ones, but you're getting them for free. So, is it really the worst ones? I also really like Rashmi and Ragavan. Elf Monkey as a creature type is hilarious, and this is just more payoff and more treasures for you. And how about Extraordinary Journey? You can use it to exile some creatures, so it's kind of removal. But even if you just pay 2 mana and put it on the battlefield, when you start casting your creatures from exile, you're going to get some cards. 1 every turn, but hey, 1 every turn is better than none every turn. People don't like when I say this is a value heuristic study, but it kind of is when you think, oh, just another way to draw a card. Any chance I get to play a deck where Song of Creation is going to be an absolute house, I play it. Sure, you're never going to have a hand again on other people's turns, but the fact that you get 2 land drops and you have cast a spell, draw 2 cards is just amazing. And that means that the cards that you play from exile are going to fill up your hand again for that turn as well, and you might be able to storm off. Now, obviously, this is not in the line of, oh, are we playing Temur Goblins? But maybe it is. And finally, at the beginning of the video, I talked about how loot is a Fomori. Well, the card is literally called Fomori Vault. So unless the 2 Fomori we know about locked loot in there, I think it's safe to say Fomori are back, and they're going to be cute as ever. Hope this helps.